Hey, I bought enough Chinese stuff over the years to know what I think about Chinese products in general. I'm here today at a coffee shop in Saigon, Vietnam, and I'm going to ask some of my friends, or interview some of my friends, I should say, about what their opinion is of Chinese products. We'll talk about cell phones, appliances, food products, and also what they think of Chinese tourists. Okay, I'm here at Viva Star Coffee with my friend Paul to talk about what Vietnamese people think of Chinese products.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Paul. What's your overall opinion of Chinese products they sell here in Vietnam?
For example, cell phone.
Yeah, cell phones.
I think many people, the upper class or the middle class people, they care about the private documents, information, so they don't like to use. To me, I don't like to.
Afraid of Chinese spying?
Yeah, Chinese spy, they, I think they have the back door, but they are cheap to get private documents, private information. That's very dangerous in the business.
Right.
So,
well, I know Vietnamese people are real conscious of their food too, and their food safety. There's a lot of Chinese vegetables and things sold here, meat, things like that, meat products. What do you think about that?
I don't believe that food. Although I think it's really delicious, but I don't think it's good for health.
Yeah. Well, they do kill a lot of babies.
Yeah, you can't see the way they make. They can eat. You can eat. But when you see that, you don't dare to eat. I think it's terrible.
Okay. Have you ever bought any Chinese appliances?
I think it's good.
Think it's okay?
It's okay.
Yeah, I think I've got a water heater or something, for my coffee that's made in China.
Something they make good, something they make they worse.
Yeah.
They make the worst to the world.
Right. Yeah, I can understand that. How about in your area? You're in District 1. There's a lot of tourists in District 1. How about Chinese tourists? Do you ever interact with Chinese tourists there?
This is sensitive problems. The culture. There's many countries like socialists all over the world.
Right.
Like the Chinese, Vietnamese, Koreans, North Koreans, Syrians, some sensitive communist countries.
Right.
I think it's the behavior from the cultures.
The behavior?
Behavior.
So the behavior of the Chinese tourists not good?
Yeah, the bad behavior.
Bad behavior.
I used to come to Tân Phú, central of Vietnam. I saw that they are tourists. Terrible. How can I say that? The fucking there's a very, very impolite eating, the behavior, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I don't like that behavior.
Right. Hey, Paul, I want to thank you for coming in and doing this interview with me. If you could give the Chinese some advice, any advice at all, what would you tell them?
The Chinese has famous words. They say that trust is a first. So I think they make the trust on their first. I think it's advice in shortly.
Oh, all right. Hi, I'm here today at Tango Coffee with my friend V, and we're going to be talking about Chinese products and what she thinks of them. V? I was going to ask you about Chinese products like, for instance, cell phones. Have you ever bought a Chinese cell phone?
I don't think I used to buy a cell phone before.
You've never bought one?
Yeah.
Would you buy a Chinese cell phone?
Maybe. I'm thinking about Oppo.
Oppo? Yeah, I think Oppo's a nice brand. One of the guys I interviewed before said he was a little concerned with privacy and Chinese phones. How about you?
For me, I think Oppo is good for us, suitable for our demand.
Yeah. You know, I see in the news a lot of things about Chinese food products that come into Vietnam. I saw one about potatoes that were going through from China and going through Dalat and being dusted with Dalat dirt, and then they become Dalat potatoes instead of Chinese. So what's your opinion of Chinese food products? Do you think they're safe?
Yeah, I heard that even in China, Chinese people also be careful about their food product.
Right.
So I think they use a lot of chemical to improve their crops and make more products with the cheaper price.
Right.
So I think in some case it's not really safe for your health.
When you go to the store, do you avoid Chinese products?
It depends. For garlic, maybe, but for potato, I will consider, or maybe I will use some kind of things to make it safer.
What about canned food and processed food, Chinese processed food, frozen food, like that? Do you have an opinion on that?
Actually, for Vietnamese people, it's difficult for us to avoid Chinese product.
Right.
So sometimes we don't know where our food is from.
Yeah, the sourcing.
So we still use that and we survive, but we don't know what will happen in future.
Right. You know, I bought some Chinese appliances in the past, particularly a blender that everything seemed to be okay, but some of the parts that were important for the blender broke. And then, of course, I looked at it and it was made in China. Have you had any experience with Chinese products, appliances?
For me, I use some Chinese products,
Right.
like a blender, cooker. So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should use that and never bring it to the shop to fix it.
Yeah, you know, I had a Chinese rice cooker, and I thought when I bought it, I thought it was Korean because all of the markings all over it were Korean. And of course, when I got it home and opened it, took it out of the box, all of the instructions were in Chinese.
Yes.
So, you know how that goes, right? Okay, how about in your line of work, do you have much experience with Chinese tourists?
Yes, a lot.
And
For Vietnamese and for most of the countries in the world, Chinese people will have around 80% tourists from China.
right,
So they are an important part for tourists of some countries.
right,
Like Vietnam, 80% tourists from China.
wow,
So,
that's a lot, yeah.
Yes. And I read a news in Korea, 90%.
Wow,
This is big.
very big.
And when they have conflict last year or maybe 2 years ago, and China government banned Chinese people go to Korea for tourism. So the tourists, the tourism in Korea nearly, go down.
It's all Chinese,
Yeah.
all Chinese business. How about their behavior when they're in your country? Are they well-behaved people? Yeah. Do they act nice when they're here in Vietnam, the Chinese people?
In the average, it was okay. But for my experience, sometimes they make too much noise.
Yeah, a little noisy.
A lot of noise.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why they speak so loud and annoy people a lot.
Yeah. Well, listen, is there anything else you'd like to add to our conversation about Chinese products and Chinese people?
The totally is good, but you know, for Vietnamese people, our income's still low, so Chinese product is suitable for our money.
Right. Okay. Good. Well, listen, I appreciate you joining me for our interview today, and maybe we'll have you on again. I'm going to do a future show about people and their business, and you have a very interesting business, and I'm sure people would enjoy seeing some video on that.
Yeah, I'm happy to introduce my business with everyone.
Yeah.
One day.
I think you should share it. All right. Well, thanks a lot.